Welcome everyone in the first lecture on the rectification. Uh, Rectification is important to measure the length of a given curve. So let's start with the derivation of the formula for rectification in case of Cartesian coordinate system. Yes, of course, the proof is not expected through the examination point of view, but you must know how exactly the process is going on. So that's why I am first going to discuss the derivation of the formula and then we will start with the problems. In the rectification chapter, we will learn how the technique of integration can be applied to find the length of a plane curves. Okay, so this process is called as a rectification. Plane curve means on xy plane we have some curves y is equal to f of x like that, and we get the length of those curves with the help of integration. You can treat this as an application of integration also. Okay, so let y is equal to f of x be my curve. Okay, you might be a little bit disturbed because I am just changing my planes, because simultaneously I am going to draw the diagram to understand the graphical representation of this. I have some curves there like this, y is equal to f of x. Okay, now I want to have one point on this, say A, which is a fixed point from which I have to measure the length of the arc to be measured, and say I have to measure it to some point B. Okay, so this length I want to measure. Now let's consider one point on this line, say P x comma y. I am going to consider one point. I have to first of all I have to measure this length AB. I am taking one point x comma y on this plane like this. Some x coordinate is there and having some y coordinate is there. Okay. Another point Q I am going to choose such that there is some increment in x called as a delta x and some increment in y called as a delta y. So such Q I am going to observe there. Like this. Okay, now at the same time what I am doing is I am just going to join means I am going to plot one perpendicular from the point P to the line, say okay, this would be my M and this would be my N, and this perpendicular I am going to draw, so I'll just take this as say R. Okay, so the distance between P and R is a delta x, that is change in my x coordinate. The distance between Q and R is my delta y, that is change in the y coordinate. Why there is a change in y coordinate? I am saying delta y and delta and x coordinate change is delta x is because my first point is P, the coordinates are x and y. In x I am going to add some distance delta x, and in y I am going to add some distance delta y, and I am finding this point Q. So the coordinates of the point Q are x plus delta x comma y plus delta y, like this. Okay, now the arc AP is say S. Okay, and the arc this PQ is a arc. Yes, the PQ is my arc. So this, when I take another point Q with some increment in x and y, ultimately this length also get increased by some distance. So say that distance would be delta S. So arc PQ is my delta S. In general, the length of AQ is S plus delta S. The length of arc AP is S. Are you clear with this idea? Okay. Now what I am going to do is, here I am observing one triangular like shape, but this PQ is an arc of the curve, so I am having such kind of a situation. Okay, now what I am going to do, I am taking this point Q as close as possible to the P, so that this becomes, or this will looks like a triangle. So it means I will find out the delta x and delta y is so small so that I get a triangle there. Okay, so what I'm getting now, I'm getting one triangle, say PRQ, which is a right angle triangle. So by the rule Pythagoras theorem, we can say, okay, just have a look here. This distance is delta x, this is delta y, and this is delta s. So by Pythagoras theorem, this is delta s square is equal to delta x square plus delta y square. Okay, now I divide both sides by delta x square. I am getting delta s square upon delta x square is equal to 1 plus delta y square upon delta x square, which is nothing but delta s upon delta x square is equal to 1 plus delta y upon delta x square. Okay, now taking the limit as delta x tends to 0, so this becomes ds by dx square is equal to 1 plus dy by dx square. Taking the square root on both sides, we have ds by dx is equal to square root of 1 plus dy by dx square. Are you clear with this? Now, if x coordinate of A and B, the point A, the x coordinate is here is x1 and the x coordinate at B is say x2. Okay, and I want to measure the length from the point A to the point B. So what I am getting, suppose or say the arc AB is say x. Okay, I am calling this arc as a distance s. Then by integration, this length is given by integration from x1 to x2 square root of 1 plus dy by dx square, and integration with respect to x. In another way, here I am defining the curve as y is equal to f of x, but if I define the curve x as f of y, then the arc of AB is again say s, and the formula will be given as y coordinate y1 to y2 square root of 1 plus dx by dy square, integration with respect to y. So these two formulae we are going to use in case of a Cartesian coordinate system. The thing is, you have to identify the curve whether it is given in this way or x is equal to f of y way. So that way you can discuss and you can work out the values. The only hint is you try to first find out dy by dx, then go for its square, then go for 1 plus dy by dx square, then take a square root, and then think about the integration and their limits. So that will be help you to solve the problems. Okay, so let's come to the one problem. Discuss the problem in the next lecture, that will be more effective. I hope you have understood the derivation of this formula. Yeah, in examination this derivation is not much expected, but you just know how exactly we are going to process in the form of integration. That is very important here. Okay, thank you everyone.